When people talk about representation out in the media, Aliza, they usually focus on who's like on the screen. But from your seat as a producer, like where does the real power actually sit? I mean, you know what goes on in Hollywood and LA and behind the scenes.
It's really interesting because, I've shifted. I could talk a little bit about my career, but for many, many years I did development in unscripted television, selling all different kinds of TV, everything from, house renovation to true crime. Something that I always noticed is that all of the executives that we would pitch to were women, but the
Hmm.
decision makers were usually always men.
Huh.
And almost in a way that made it strange because I thought, the truth is, look, you can champion a show when you're at a network, but you don't have real decision making power. And ultimately, the people that make the decisions are what makes the world go round, right? If
Right.
as much you could love anything, but if it doesn't sell, someone doesn't buy it and they don't get behind it, then you have nothing. So I did find that I would have great champions at sort of the pitching level, but then when it would sort of make itself up the ranks, I just noticed that there were at the farther up you go, there was sort of less and less women in power. Now that has changed a lot. Like if you look at
Wow, good.
Netflix, Bella Bajarian, who's basically runs all of Netflix under Ted Sarandos, incredible. I've never worked with her, but I've only heard incredible things. I've heard her speak on interviews. Jen Salke, who ran Amazon for many years, she's not there anymore,
Right,
but
right.
you've got Dana Walden, you've got Pam at Warner Brothers. I think her last name's Abdi. So there's a lot of women in power at these companies now, but still, when you look at the billionaires and where the buck stops,
Hmm.
there's still no women. So as much as we have made, I think, enormous strides behind the camera, so to speak, but I only almost work with women now to the point
Hmm.
where sometimes I'm on Zooms and it's hilarious because it's like 12 women and like one guy. And we're always like, oh, do you feel outnumbered? And it's not that I necessarily prefer to work with women over men. I like men a lot. I'm not a man hater by any stretch. But I think also women of a certain age, I'm 56. I've obviously been around the block. We tend to gravitate toward women that, like, I tend to gravitate toward women that are seasoned, that, are straight shooters. Women tend to have better BS detectors and tend to cut through it. And I find that I've had such long relationships in this business and I've, ventured now into scripted and I'm doing another movie, a scripted movie. So I find that the people that I reach out to start to network, to develop things and make things happen are usually women.